Welcome to Sunday Springboard. Welcome to Sunday Springboard with Melanie and Kimberlyn Coaching, where we help women recover from and flourish after stress and trauma. I'm going to tell you a little story. I live down in Houston, and there's all kind of plants and refineries around my town. And when I was younger, much younger, like in college type younger, and during the summers, I would work at the different plants, refineries, and they were like Shell and Valero, and I don't know the names now, but a bunch of different oil companies. And I would work in these companies temporary in the office department as a temporary secretary or receptionist or whatever. So I moved to Oklahoma after I graduated from college, and I got married, and I was trying to get a job there in Oklahoma. So I went to this temp agency and had this on this resume. I listed all the different places I worked. Now, I'd only worked at each place a week or two, but I just listed them all out. And I did list what I did at each one. But the lady, the recruiter, saw all the different oil companies that I worked for. She goes, "You have oil experience?" I'm kind of thinking maybe I don't, but she seemed real excited when I said, and I said, yeah, I've worked, or she said something about you've worked at these oil companies. That's what she said. She worked at all these oil companies. Yeah, I've worked at these oil companies. And so she gets all excited. She calls me, she's got oil experience. She's got oil experience. And I'm thinking, I'm not sure that, that I have quite the experience she thinks I do. But I knew that whatever jobs you go to, every place has to teach you their own way of doing it. So I just figured that whatever they did, I could learn it. So I just went along with her, and she was so excited, and she got me hired into this job for an oil company, and I was being a landscape secretary. And no, it was a geological secretary, and I actually had to do all this geological stuff, but they had to show me what to do. So it was no problem ever. So I don't know if that was actually confidence on my part or if that was just craziness, being a very young person and wanting a job very, very badly. We've been talking about confidence last week, and we're going to keep on talking about confidence this week. So let me share my screen with you. Maybe. Hang on a minute. Sorry about that. It wasn't wanting to let me find my screen. There we go. Okay, can you see that? So let's just remember, as always, we've been talking forever about how to overcome stress, how to manage stress. The main thing, of course, is regulate our bodies in the moment. How can we calm ourselves so we can get our brains thinking again when we've been triggered? I taught you one of my favorite tools last week, the wet noodle, where we just relax. And I actually did that a few times before our talk today because I have a lot of things going on. But I've had several people mention to me that they liked it and it was helpful. So try that. 5 seconds, scan your body, whatever that you find is tense on purpose, loosen it up and see if that doesn't work to help your brain get back online. The second thing we've talked about is eliminating stressful situations when necessary. Not all stress is bad, but there could be some situations you're in that you need to get out of if they're abusive. And then the third one we've been on forever is how do we decrease our reaction to stress? It's not the situation that's stressful because you can see two different people experience the same thing and one person is stressed and the other person is not. So what we are talking about to help us to do this is what we call core disciplines. These are concepts that when you apply them in your life, you're able to live more aware, you make more choices in your life, you're not at the mercy of the world around you. You can make choices. So the first thing, of course, is becoming aware. What's true? What's reality? Accepting what truly is, not fighting it. Accepting doesn't mean you like it. It just means you accept that this is what is for the moment. Once we do that, we can make conscious choice. We can choose to respond in whatever way we want to. Once we've gone through all that and we've made some choices, we have to learn to trust the process. We might want to jump from here, there, and we want quick results, which we don't often get quick results. And so we're going to choose something and stick with it for a while. Maybe we tweak it, maybe we move on, but we give it enough time to see if it will work. Then we talked about being authentic, how stressful it is when you're trying to be someone that you're not, when you're trying to fit in with people and you're trying to be a certain thing and because you want people to accept you, when really if you can just be yourself, you're less stressed and other people generally like you more also. We talked about being fearless. If we have these mindsets of a mastery mindset, a growth mindset, if I know that everything that's going on in life is a learning situation for me, there's no need to be fearless, to have fear. Then I can be fearless, which moves us into confidence. We might think that in order to be confident about something, we have to have the skills, we have to have the training and the education. And obviously, there are some things that you definitely have to have that for. But we know that some people may have all the skills and all the training and they're still not confident. So, confident itself is an inside thing. And so if you have missed these previous videos, you can go to my website at kimberlincoaching.com and you can watch all the videos moving behind this and catch up with us. But today we're going on with confidence. We're talking about how do we create confidence? If this is not something that happens outside of us because things are happening out there, it's something inside of us. How do we choose to be confident? How do we create confidence? Today, we're going to talk about that, about choosing it. We're going to talk about resiliency. We're talking about the 7 levels of energy. You may not remember that. We've talked about them a long time ago. We're going to see how those could be used to help our confidence. And then we're going to talk about something called a direction correction. So our premise today, again, is choice. Each moment describes who you are, and it gives you the opportunity to decide if that's who you want to be. Who am I being right now? It doesn't matter who you were before. It doesn't matter what you did before. It doesn't matter who you're going to be in the future. Who do you want to be right now? How do you want to respond? How do you want to think? How do you want to behave and feel today, right now, this moment? You get to choose that. I know it doesn't feel like you do. We feel like we're stuck in whatever we're feeling, but it's just absolutely not true. You just have to learn some different tools, different information, ways to change your thoughts. So resiliency, the definition of this is that the resiliency is the ability to recover from setbacks. When things go kind of wrong in our life, if we're resilient, we can bounce back. We can recover quickly and we're considered tough. So probably you're more resilient than you realize. The fact that you're still alive today, after all the things that you have been through in your life, you're a stronger person than you know, and you have more resiliency than you know. So what we just need to do is find that resiliency. Remember last week we talked about making a list of times in your life when you let yourself be confident and things worked out. We're going to keep on making that list. Notice times that you have been confident and use that today to help you be confident going forward. Resiliency is associated with people with high energy. You just know you can handle whatever comes your way. Like when I was in that interview, I just pretty much knew that I could do the job. Now, I have to admit, I'm not always that confident about everything that I do. And maybe I was a bit overconfident there. But I did know and believe that I could do the job and that I could learn what I needed to learn. And so at that point, I did not have the skills I needed, but I believed that I could get them. And I think that's one of the big things here when we're talking about whether you need the skills and the education. Yes, you may need to get them, but maybe even if you don't have them now, if you can trust that you can get them, then you can have the confidence to move forward. So when you have resilience, you know you can handle whatever happens to you. That even if you're sad, even if you're angry, even if you're surprised and all, you can still find a way to bounce back. And this happens through your life when you can look back and you can see those times and you can think, well, I did that then. I ought to be able to do it now. So again, this is the ability to bounce back. And one of the reasons that we can do this is when we don't take things personally. When we believe that everything that happens is against us, this happened against me, you did that against me, all these things are against me, we take it personally, it's much harder to bounce back from. Now, we're choosing to create confidence. Again, it's from inside. We're not waiting. We're not waiting for something good to happen. We're not waiting for life to get right, for life to become less stressful. Do you tell yourself that? Oh, it's gonna be less stressful. Things are gonna get better. And do you keep telling yourself that every day, every day, every day? I think life is just stressful, and our lifestyles are just busy. So if we can learn how to deal with what we have today rather than waiting for something to happen, we create it ourselves. We decide that I can handle what's going on. Maybe I start to say no. Remember, we talked about that before. Maybe you need to say no to some things, set some boundaries in place. But just knowing that you can handle what is coming your way, this can help you have confidence that that no matter what comes on, you can deal with it. Now, again, remember we talked about when you become aware, become conscious, when you start to realize how you're thinking, how you're feeling, then you can choose your response. You're not reacting, you're responding. Now, we talked about levels of energy at the very, very beginning, and you probably don't remember them. If you don't, I'm going to go over them a little bit here, but you can also go back to my website, kimberlincoaching.com. These would be some of the very earliest videos that I did, 7 levels of energy. So everything is energy. We're all full of energy, and there are different levels, different types of energy. Some of them are what we call catabolic. They're okay for times, but if you live in them all the time, you're not happy, and they're destructive. And the other ones are anabolic, and they lift you up. You can't always be in those levels, and we'll go on. We'll go into this. I'm going to explain this to you, but you can use any of these levels to help you bounce back. And that's what I'm going to show you now. So if you remember, level 1 energy is where you're basically saying, I lose. Life is just hard. I can't ever do anything right. I'm sad. I'm depressed. You don't have any energy. You're apathetic. This is basically life is just bad and I'm bad. And one of the things you can do if you're in this kind of energy is to help you is you can ask others to take care of you. This is one of the benefits of level 1 energy. Now, you're not going to be very happy and you're not going to be able to stay there long, but maybe for a short amount of time, this is a good place for you to be. Maybe the thing that we're thinking about right now is we're pretending that we've lost a significant relationship. I forgot to tell you that. So let's say we've lost a significant relationship. How can we use these levels? So one is ask others to take care of you. That can be very appropriate when you're first grieving something. Let people bring you food. Let people take care of the different things of your world. And if you do this, this can help you know that you can handle life. Now, level 2 energy is basically, so level 1 was I lose. Number 2 is you lose. So you did this to me. There's a lot of anger here. There's frustration. It's your fault. It's their fault. It's the world's fault, the government, my job. It's everybody else's fault and not mine. But sometimes in level 2 energy, you can get angry at yourself. And so maybe you need to beat yourself up a little bit to get yourself going. Again, this is not something I recommend to do often, but maybe you need to say, hey, get yourself up off of this couch and do something. Sometimes this can be an appropriate level and can help you have confidence that you can keep on going in life. When we get to level 3 energy, this starts to be a little more anabolic. So level 3 energy, you're generally, so 1 is I lose, 2 is you lose, number 3 is I win. And if you win too, then that's cool. So we're kind of like, things are okay. I don't really like it, but it will be all right. We do a lot of rationalizing. It's not as bad as I thought it was. It won't be as bad as I think it will. You just reframe it and you think, well, at least I gave it my all. And you just kind of rationalize it and tell yourself that you can do better. This is not a bad place to be at some point. Again, we're starting to move into some anabolic, building up kind of energy. It's not the highest level. And what we find is that people living at the higher levels of energy feel happier. Now, we're not going to be happy all the time, and that's not even our goal. And there's not one energy better than the other. The idea of this is to understand what they are, notice when you're being in each kind of energy and then making a choice. Do I want to stay where I'm at? Maybe you're in level 1 and you're being sad and depressed. Okay, maybe I give myself 20 minutes to stay there and then I move into some level 3 or change that. So it's where I understand where I'm at, and you start seeing this in the world around you too. When you do this, you start seeing these energy levels in songs and TV shows and the people around you, and you start noticing it about yourself. And then you decide, do I want to stay here or not? Is this making me feel good, making me feel productive and progressive and able to move forward? So level 3 is we're just kind of, hey, it's all right, it'll be okay. Level 4 energy is where I'm caring about other people. Now this can be very helpful when you're going through a loss. So we're thinking, poor me, and we get angry. Why did this happen to me? And then I'm kind of thinking, well, I guess it'll be all right. But then when I start thinking about other people, well, I'm not the only person this impacted. Can I help other people this impacted, or just other people in general? Take care of them and help them. Now, the thing about that is often we help all the other people and don't help ourselves. So if you want to really benefit from level 4 energy, take care of the other people, but you also take care of yourself. You treat yourself as you would treat your friend. Then if we move into level 5 energy, this is where we look around to see what we can learn. This is a win-win. So level 1 was I lose, level 2 is you lose, level 3, I win, and if you win, that's okay. Level 4, you win. More concerned about you. Level 5, I win and you win. So we're looking around, how can we use this opportunity to grow? How can I use this to help other people and to help myself? So maybe for me, so I went through the difficulties in my divorces and with my children. And now, as in level 5 energy, I'm saying, how can I use this to help other women? I can help them, I can help myself. This is an opportunity for growth. So it helps me move past the sadness and the anger, and it helps me move forward into the future with more confidence. Level 6 energy, we just don't have judgments. Level 6 is just, um, unless we all win, we don't win. So we're all a part of this together. The world, this is something we've really felt with the pandemic, is that we're all suffering together. This is what you feel like if you're a part of an organization, that we're a part of a whole that's bigger than us. If we can um, keep our mind focused on that, I'm a part of this whole, and just there's no judgment here. I'm not going to judge the situation. So like level 3, I judge the situation as bad, but then I think, okay, I can deal with it. I can make it better. Level 5, I say, well, it might be bad, but what's the opportunities here? And level 6, I just don't even judge it as bad. It might be painful, it might be negative, but it's not necessarily a bad situation. This is not this is not always easy, and we don't live here that often. When I feel this level 6 energy is when I'm at church, when I'm with the people around me, that we're all doing something together, we're helping other people together, and then I'm being blessed by being with them. So when we're in this level, we're not having judgment. If I'm not judging me and I'm not judging you, I'm definitely going to have more confidence. Level 7 energy is that energy that nobody lives here very much. We just do it every now and then. I generally feel it when I'm feeling really close to God, when I feel the Spirit in me, maybe when I'm studying my Bible or singing a song or having an interaction with someone, and we're really um, just connecting. It also could be when you're working on something and you're really passionate about it, and you look up and the time is just gone and you didn't know where that was. So level 7 is kind of where you're just all passionate and no judgment. And so the way this can work for confidence is that when you're in level 7, you understand that all those options we just talked about, all the different levels, they're all available. You can use them all. There's not one better than the other. There's just which one you want to use at which time. And you consciously create your life and your experiences because you choose how you want to think and respond. Now, you're all saying to me, Melanie, this is all woo woo. right? I don't get this. It's all wonderful. You choose this, but I can't get out of these negative emotions I'm feeling. And that is a true statement. I understand. I have been there. We have to be able to get our brains out of the Hulk mode, that we've talked about. We have to get out of triggering before we can make these. So this is not something that you can just jump into. You may need some help with this. I would love to help you with this. I would love to have a conversation with you. We can talk and to see if we resonate to work together with a coaching relationship. Meanwhile, you can just keep working on these. And I would say go back and watch all the videos. It would help you a lot to understand what I'm trying to say. But this, I'm going to give you a practical thing here. I've heard different people talk about this. I like to call it a direction correction. And what you do is you answer this question. I am the kind of person who. Now, this works in many areas of your life. I am the kind of person who can bounce back. I am the kind of person who can overcome adversity. I am the kind of person who can be self-disciplined. I am the kind of person who can boldly ask for a new job, can boldly ask for a raise. I'm the kind of person who can set boundaries with my mate, with my children, with my work. I am the kind of person who, the things that you want, the confidence that you want. So I'm the kind of person who has confidence. Now, if you're like me, for many years, affirmations. I'm strong, I'm beautiful, people love me. I don't, I mean, they're good. I'm not saying anything bad about them, and I actually have some affirmations on my mirror. But that's not what this is. Those are kind of like fake it till you make it, try to force yourself to believe this, but that's not what this is. If you can get the difference, it's just saying, I am the kind of person who. When you say that, then you start thinking, well, what does that kind of person do? How does that kind of person think? So, some more ideas about this direction correction. It's forward thinking, where it doesn't matter who we were in the past, it's who we want to be now. And it's a question we ask, what kind of person am I? And the answer is built in. As I look in it, I look and I decide I get to answer that question. Who am I? Who do I want to be? I am the kind of person who. So that answer is decided by me in the moment. It makes a declaration to live up to. If I'm the kind of person who takes care of my body, then I make decisions throughout the day of the food I'm going to eat, the water I'm going to drink, the exercise I'm going to do. If I'm the kind of person who is kind and loving, then I'm going to keep watch on my mouth. I'm not always going to say every single thing that immediately pops in my head. So when we make these decisions of who we want to be, but we say them as if we are them already, and you have to actually say them out loud because that makes it real, then this gives you something to live up to and to work at. Are you going to do it perfectly every day? No, no, no. Are you going to relapse? Yes, yes, we are. We're not talking about perfection in any way. We're talking about growth. So when we ask ourselves this, who am I? What kind of person am I? This interrupts what you're doing right now. So maybe what you're doing right now is not good. You don't like it. You're not feeling confident. You're not feeling resilient. You're feeling beat down. Stop and say, I am the kind of person who is persistent, doesn't give up, can work no matter what's going on. And it jolts you. It jolts you to think about what you want, that you're not stuck where you are. You may feel stuck, but you're not. This direction correction reminds you of the direction that you're going. If you take a little step off, you can correct yourself and get back on. I already said that it helps you have the course correction, and it encourages us not to give up because it's not something that's going to happen immediately. It's going to take time, and don't give up before the miracle happens. So your direction correction, when I ask myself, or when I tell myself, I am the kind of person who, this reminds me of who I want to become and how I can get there. It's like a chess move. It's an internal compass to guide my path. It builds my confidence that I can do things differently just because I did things in the past. So have you said this? You probably have. I hear people say this all the time is I am, so we'll say that's just the way I am. I get stressed when I have people over my house, and I guess I just always will. That's who I am. Well, it doesn't have to be who you are. You can say, I am the kind of person who does not get stressed when I have people over my house. I am the kind of I'm the kind of person who does not feel like I have to have my house perfectly clean in order to have people over. You can make those decisions of what you want to say, and it lets you know that you can do things differently. Just because you've done things a certain way in the past doesn't mean you have to keep on doing it that way. And I'm the kind of person who, this is an imagination exercise. It's you getting to decide who you want to be, and this actually changes your brain one connection at a time. Remember how we have all those little brain connections? And we want to break the ones that are bad and we want to make new connections where they're good. These make new connections. I am the kind of person who actually makes new connections in your brain. So direction correction is a practical way to help you grow your confidence. So, I thought I was going to go over again what we went over. So hang on, let me go back to the top. Right. So we talked about choosing. We talked about what resiliency is. We talked about how does confidence play out? How does it look in the 7 different levels of energy? And then we talked about the practicalness of a direction correction. Hopefully you got something out of that and you will go through this next week more confident and message me if you want to talk. I would love to talk. See you later. Bye-bye.